Why is everything about race?
They tried to bury us. They counted us out. They told us to be quiet, to shrink, to disappear. But what they didn't understand is that pressure creates diamonds, pain builds power, and every setback was setting us up. We are not broken. We are built. Built from struggle. Built from faith. Built from everything they said would destroy us. You can chain the body, but you cannot cage the spirit. You can rewrite history, but you cannot erase legacy. We didn't burn in the fire. We were made in it. We didn't fall apart. We transformed. So when you see us rising, don't question it. When you see us shining, don't doubt it, because we didn't just survive. We rebuilt. Say it with me.
I asked earlier, why is everything about race? Some of y'all might be wondering what this is on my head. Google your pictograph Hebrew uh, chart. Let me see here. Google a pictograph Hebrew chart, and it ought to tell you what you need to know. Let me see. Matter of fact, let me see. I got so many tabs right now. Let me just share one, and then swap. Let me see here. Right here. All right. Pictograph Hebrew chart. It's a letter A. I know you got the E there, but that's some Ashkenazi. Ashkenazi. All right. It's a letter A. See there. All right. Now this is a shepherd staff. Right here. Shepherd. Teach. Yoke. Authority. Bind. Now, when they go into Revelation and they start hitting you with the European Greek, they talking about he the Alpha and Omega. Not this is that's why you need to look at these letters in Hebrew. The first, and the last. Mark, sign, covenant. See, the Messiah. He was the mark, the sign, and the covenant. See that? Anyway, back. Let me get back over here. Now, when they say, why is everything about race? How come we got to go to them for justice? Huh? How is it they running everything based on race? Why you got a Roman fourth beast of the Bible government running these European Western powers based on race? How did all the Europeans get together and decide who was going to get what out of Africa while the black folk died and starved? Huh? Why is everything about race? I'm asking y'all. Y'all tell me why everything is about race. All right, now, let's do a little history. Who created racism? Racism, replacism, racism was largely created by European and Americans during the 16th century. That's why you'll hear some people say there was no such thing as a white person till around the 16th century. Okay? As a way to justify slavery and exploitation of other racial and ethnic groups. Now, they bring all these immigrants over here, use them as buffer classes based on race. Why is everything about race when you got to put race on the application? Why is everything about race when you got to fill out that census form based on race? That's why don't even listen to these folks. When they start talking like that, just look at them as the enemy that they are. All right, let me finish going. The concept evolved from earlier prejudices and was solidified through pseudo-scientific theories that established racial hierarchies. Don't forget, they are maintaining the racism. They are teaching their children to pick up and carry the torch of racism. Talking about coming together. The Bible tells us to separate. Come out from among them. The Bible don't tell us to come. Ain't no coming together. If the Most High wanted us to come together, then it shouldn't be no slaughter and genocide. But the Bible tells us to come out from among them. They want to mingle the wheat and the tares. All right. Racism as a structured belief system was largely created by white Europe. I don't think no black folks created this. This is white folks. This is their invention. This is their baby. They feed that baby with the blood of our people on a regular basis, daily. Worldwide, people are dying daily. Blood is being spilt by these people in order to maintain racism. All right? But there it is. Let me give you a little something else. Let me see here. Let me see somebody. Shalom, Marlene. All right. Let me see here. It said race and racism impact almost every aspect of public life in the USA. But they want to ask you, they want to ask us, why is everything? These people good at playing dumb. They claim to be the most educated. They run the education system. Then want to turn around and ask us as if we create racism, maintain racism, and benefit from racism. They want to ask us the question, the reverse psychology of it all. It's psychotic. But anyway, Race and racism impact almost every aspect of public life in the USA, influencing areas such as healthcare, education, economic structure. This pervasive influence challenges the notion of individualism as highlight for the need of collective responsibility by addressing systemic racism. You can read on a little further. I'm going to read some of this. Healthcare, education, employment. Talking about you free. The Bible says we don't get free till the Messiah returns and destroy Rome, destroy this beast. That's what the Bible said. Well, they just doesn't. You got a little. Just because they take the handcuffs off of you in prison and let you walk about and do things, don't mean you free. You understand? If they put an ankle monitor on your leg and let you go home, are you free? Huh? All right. Housing, criminal justice. You know what? Criminal justice is named appropriately because the criminals running this country, running the world, is the only ones in control of justice. Okay? What now? Is the church is heaven segregated? Heaven must be segregated. Heaven must be segregated. The church is segregated, huh? The church is segregated. Heaven must be segregated. Why is everything about race? I don't want to be around them. I'm gonna just keep it real. I don't want to be around these folks. They go over here, I go over there. Leave me alone. If you don't, then doggone, I got no problem doing what I got to do, even if it means jail or death. Got no problem with it. See. Let me see what this says. White sub, just replace the P and put a B, as in beneath you. White supremacist ideas have historical roots. You can take the U.S. out of there. Don't try to. Anybody know why I said take this out? Just put Christianity, period. Anybody know? Matter of fact, let me give you a clue. Let me give you a clue. This was the origins of race-based Christianity right here. The casket church perpetuated the slave trade or the genocide or the human trafficking, the mass. You get what it was. You get what it is. They wasn't going to Ireland rounding up white folks to put them out there in them fields. It's show us the history of it. They wasn't going to China to get the Chinese, put them in the field. They wasn't going to Turkey, the east side of the Roman Empire that divided, to get them. But NPR, you have to watch. That's why you have to read. You have to read between the lies. Read between the LIES. See that? See, once you view the lens through the Bible, there's a worldwide conflict. Talking about has historical roots in the U.S. It's just Christianity, period. Let's see what this is. I ain't even this Mega Evans here. They must have been fighting. Yeah, 2 blood spattered freedom riders. Oh, okay, he with him. Okay, I ain't gonna laugh at him then if he with her. Okay, is that John? Wait a minute. No, that's John Lewis. Okay. After he got in Congress or government, he just stopped fighting. After segregationists attacked them in the early 1960s, Montgomery, Alabama, Lewis, then a young civil rights activist, would later become a member of Congress from Georgia. Oh, Edmund Pettus Bridge. What happened to you? But anyway, let me move on. Now, I'm going to come back to this later. Now, there's some things I didn't quite get around to my last video last week about the messy pissy. I mean the Mississippi. Let me see here. Hold on. Wait, this one. I didn't quite get into it. This video I did last week. I'm gonna go in some stuff I left out. And I'm gonna just go back over it. Like, for instance, Brett Favre stealing money from the poor. Notice he ain't went to jail. Stuff like that. I'm gonna get into it. You call it, I'm just gonna add on to this video from last week. Mississippi. But anyway, let me move back over here. Let me get back on track here. Let me see which way I'm gonna go. Oh, let me add this back. Okay. All right, let me move down. All right. Now, this is Alabama prisons, which is full of our folks. Look, organs is coming up missing. I saw a few white guys. It always trickle over to you white folks. It always makes it around to you. But carry on. Families say organs of deceased Alabama inmates have been removed without their consent. See. It's 6 minutes, but yeah. See, there's a white man right there. 2 of them. 3. When it comes to making money, all of y'all is niggers. When it comes to making money, y'all poor white folks gonna figure it out. I ain't gonna lift a finger. I'm not helping you. I better know you. It ain't too many of them I know. And even less than that, too many I help. Let me put that up. But anyway, let me see here. Let me move on. All right, now. Yeah, I'm gonna cover this. I'm going through some stuff. I'm gonna get to this later. All right. Hold on, I just deleted something. Y'all bear with me. Just deleted something. Okay. Yeah. Y'all bear with me. I'm just getting my ducks in a row. All right, let's go right here. This is another. Y'all might have known about this guy. There's another one. He went off swimming with a couple white people, and he ended up drowning. See. But no murder charges or nothing. I'm gonna look at y'all for a little bit. Let me look at y'all. I want y'all to think big. This whole government is in on it. All of it. Some of y'all probably having trouble believing that. Okay, how is the feds gonna tell you that white supremacists in the police and in higher positions of government, and ain't no stings, no raid, no RICO charges, nothing to do, get them out? Why aren't these so-called law and order politicians creating laws against hate groups passing out flyers to kill black folk? Where your politicians at? How come? Now, I'm gonna keep saying this. Maybe it'll start registering. How come they don't prove that it was a self-inflicted death or suicide. It's provable. They got all these high-tech equipment. All y'all got to do is watch some of these real CSI shows. They vacuuming hair. They getting blood. They taking stuff loose. It's always something left behind. Huh? Never no arrest or charges. That's why I just done got the mindset. Doggone it. If I got to go to jail, I'm not worried. I told a young fella just this week, he's sitting up there having a debate. I praise the Most High. He was talking loud enough in the store. I was up in there getting some coffee, finna hit the road. He up in there debating with a black woman. He worried about protecting his family because he got a record. I walked over there to that brother. I said, I got a record too. I said, don't tell nobody you moved and don't worry about going to no jail. Why is you worried about protecting your family? See, you think our ancestors be worried about what Rome think about us defending our family? That's why we got these buck dancing slave preachers. We behind enemy lines in captivity. I'm not mocking the brother, but we got to sit back and try to see what's the right choice when it comes down to our family. Now look, take to the ant, you sluggard. Take to the ant. I'm quoting script. I'm not calling them sluggard. The ant. The Bible in Proverbs said, look to the ant. You step on that ant hill. Them ants ain't going to be trying to figure out. They don't care how big you is. They don't care how many of you are. They finna get to attacking to protect the hive. These are ants. All animals try to take their babies and see what they gonna do. They not gonna sit back and chirp and see, should I protect my eggs? They gonna attack you or whatever if they can. But when it come to us, I know we've been raised up. They basically done taught us everything that we don't know. They done taught us lies. That's why we don't know nothing. Okay? Now, let me get back over here. Shalom, Jim. Get back over here. Worried about, that's what men folk do. That's why, ladies, you need to do your job so your husband won't have no second guessing before he give his life for his family. He don't need to be wondering, do you love him? When it comes down to protecting the house, you do your job. And I didn't say be a doormat, but your husband don't need to come home fighting all day and then come home and fight you too. He got to have some rest. Hey. Anyway, let me move on. All right. But anyway, they arrested him for drowning. They didn't arrest him for killing him, for destroying evidence. Yeah. I've been telling y'all, they give them old misdemeanor charges, them old weak charges, and they give us the raw and unfiltered. Yeah, most of this, now I'm getting into the, okay. Now, this guy, he went off in the woods with a bunch of white folks, and they killed him. Nobody know nothing. Nobody know nothing. He was Jamaican. No, let me see if they got a little short video. Couple minutes. Oh, let's see what this is.
Outrage. 29-year-old Peter Bernardo Spencer, a Jamaican immigrant, was found fatally shot in the front lawn of a rural Pennsylvania cabin on December 12th, just hours after he was allegedly invited to the cabin by a white coworker. Authorities say that Spencer was shot 9 times, and they're investigating his death as a homicide. There were allegedly 4 others at that cabin, including Spencer's coworker, all of whom were white. Spencer's family says that 4 people were detained and questioned, but released after consultation with the county district attorney's office. And according to officials, now more than 6 weeks later, there still have been no arrests and no charges. The district attorney's office told ABC News that it will not comment on the ongoing investigation, quote, out of concern for the impact that it may have on a case and any potential charges. And the Pennsylvania State Police also have not responded to ABC News' request for comment. And we're joined now by Conrad Spencer, Peter's father, and the family attorney, Paul Jubas. Now to a story sparking outrage.
Okay. They didn't do nothing. What was all them good white folk at to step in for some justice? Where was all them good white folk at? Huh? Some of y'all worried about what white people think, but they're not worried about you living or dying. Be not unequally yoked. Nobody went to jail, okay? Let me move on. Let me see what this is. It's another guy they found in the ditch. Derek Samuel. And I'm not mistaken, his mother and them found him. The police wasn't trying to do nothing. Okay? I think this is the guy that his family went out there and found him. Let me see what this video gonna do.
Good evening.
It's time. Let me see if it sounds right. Yeah, it's time some of these folks start doing some crime. Some slow singing and flower bringing. I mean, if they ain't up to no good, they ain't got nothing to worry about. They safe. If they not doing wickedness, if they not plotting on destroying us and genociding us, they safe. You only feel threatened because you wicked. It's time all you got to do is start praying against them. It's time they start doing some crying, some slow singing, and flower bringing.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us at Fox 5 News at 6. I'm Angelique Proctor in for Eric Perry. Today, we begin with a somber.
Remember in the Bible, when the people cried out to the Most High, praying, then he started judging these folks. They started catching hail. When the people cried out, it's going to be kind of hard for the Most High to hear you crying out if you just as wicked as the people you trying to get him to get.
For update to a story we've been following for weeks. The search for 20-year-old Derek Samuel has come to a tragic end in East Point. Samuel's family tells Fox 5 his body was found by a search team this afternoon, not far from the Camp Creek Marketplace where he was last seen over a month ago. Fox 5's Annie Mapp joins us live there. Annie, you've been out there all day.
Angelique, I got here at 10 this morning when the Georgia Emergency Search and Rescue Team first started looking for Derek Samuel. They tell me it took them a little over 4 hours to locate a body behind an apartment complex not far from here on Red Wine Road. The family then confirmed to me that body was, in fact, 20-year-old Derek Samuel. Now, the 20-year-old had been missing since April 29th, and according to East Point Police, was last seen walking out of the Target here at Camp Creek Marketplace. Police previously told us Derek arrived at the store with 2 friends, but was seen leaving alone. Those friends then reported him missing the next day. According to investigators, today crews from the Georgia Emergency Search and Rescue Team looked for him in the area. They had boats, ATVs, canines, and people walking on foot searching for Samuel.
Hey, I'm to the point now, and you know, I'm not happy to say it. I'm to the point now. I don't want no, if some I don't want no white folks looking for me. I don't even want them around. I can't trust them. That's just me. I'm a hot or cold. The older I get, the hotter or cold I get. I don't want them around. I don't want them around. I know you gotta do what you gotta do, but I'm just saying I don't trust none. When I see them, when I see white people, I see the Klan. I see the Proud Boys. I see all these white supremacist hate group. I see our enemies that the Bible told us about. When I see them, you say, well, that's a harsh thought. Okay. Name one place in earth these people has gone and brought peace and harmony. Name one place. For you say, I'm thinking harsh. Name one place these people have brought peace and harmony. Name one. I'm not going to wait because I'll be a skeleton. Wait. Let me see here. All right. I'm finna get to this Mississippi. Yeah, why is everything about race? Look here. Ain't never been an all-black jury. If it ain't about race, then why don't you see white people being tried in an all-black jury? Huh? I want you to give me the time, give me a date, give me the information, the source, where that a white person was tried by an all-black jury. It's amazing. They know how to avoid black folks and find white people. Ain't that amazing? But they want to ask us, why is everything about race? I'm pretty sure it is legal, but when? Okay? It really ain't giving me nothing. Let me see here. I just want to see. And I'm waiting on it. They ain't give me nothing. Let me do it again. Let me see, can I copy and paste it? I'm not getting nothing. Now the computer ain't. I ain't asking nothing about no Carmelo Anthony. Oh, that's talking about Carmelo Anthony. Okay, I'm not getting what I'm looking for. Okay. Oh, y'all couldn't even see that. Hold on. Yeah, y'all can see that. Yeah, y'all can see it. All right, let me move on. Everything. Hey, why is everything about race, y'all? You got all white juries, but you ain't never heard of an all black jury, huh? All right, now let's get to this Mississippi. Let me just close out some of these tabs. The doggone computer couldn't compute. What? It should have said never. That's how you know they messing with that. I mean, they should have said never. They're supposed to have all the information, the history. The computer went to smoking, didn't it? All right. How many of y'all remember this in Mississippi? They shot this FedEx worker. And they end up getting off. They got out of jail. Let me see, is it a video? I think they got off. Let me see what happened to them. See, what's their name? Hold on. Gregory and Charles Case. Let me see what happened to them. Wait a minute. I didn't copy it right. Hold on, y'all. Bear with me. Doing this in real time and I'm making a mistake. Reason why I do it like this, because I want y'all to learn how to do this stuff. If you don't. Okay? That's why I do this. Yeah, you'll see my flaws, but hey, I remember the name. Hold on. And Brandon. Look, let them go. Let them go. They shot the truck. The man just doing his job. They shot. I thought that's what happened. I just want to be sure because I don't want to tell no lies. I want to put the truth out there. Let there be truth. Charges against men accused of shooting at. They shot the truck was full of bullet holes. Black FedEx driver dismissed. Judge cites detective repeated intentional error. So let me get this straight. So if I'm a crooked cop and I hate white people and I'm a crooked cop, if somebody does something to a white person, I can literally act like I'm arresting them, knowing if I put errors on the arrest report and make errors, the judge has an excuse to let them walk free. Did y'all catch that? So when they was arrested, the loophole was right there in the arrest report. Y'all heard of people getting off on technicalities? I want y'all to see the playbook. See, that's the young man. And then FedEx fired him. See, why ain't we got our own FedEx? Only white people get UPS, Amazon, FedEx. Why is everything? Why we don't have our own stuff so we can separate? Why is everything about race? Huh? Let me see. I'm gonna walk back this way a little bit. Let's get into Brett Favre. Y'all remember the Mississippi welfare scandal? Brett Favre stealing money from poor people, stealing millions and didn't go nowhere. Y'all remember that? Didn't go nowhere.
Facing questions about an alleged connection to a $70 million welfare fraud scheme in Mississippi.
$70 million. All of a sudden, the government don't want that $70 million. They don't want to know what happened to it. Think about that, family. $70 million. The government don't want to know where that money went and who stole it. But let somebody black get a PPP loan. for $10,000.
Brett Favre facing questions about an alleged connection to a $70 million welfare fraud scheme in Mississippi. Some of that money used to build a new volleyball facility at his daughter's college. ABC's Elmo.
Now, they know that money was used to build a volleyball court, right? Why didn't the federal government put a lien on it to get that money back? Huh? Why they didn't put a lien on it to get the money back?
Lopez has the latest on what this could mean for the NFL Hall of Famer. Elwin, good morning.
Hey, Wick, good morning. The former Super Bowl winning quarterback is back in the spotlight, but this time over text messages linking him to a former top official who pled guilty in a welfare scheme.
This morning, new details in what Mississippi officials are calling the largest public welfare fraud in the state's history.
We've seen a ton of welfare money that's intended for the poorest folks here in the state of Mississippi flowing to people who just simply did not need it.
A new court filing making public more text messages allegedly showing NFL.
See, yeah, the governor was in on it too. He was the governor right then. Phil Bryant. I don't know if he killed them Bryants that killed Emmett Till. I don't know. I heard he was, but I don't go by what I heard. You understand? Same last name, though. The governor in on it.
NFL Hall of Famer Brett Favre pressing former Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant for money because he wanted a new sports facility at his alma mater. In the filing, Bryant, who is attempting to clear his name, shows what he says are conversations between him and the former quarterback. One message from 2017 reading, "Not sure how we can help get this facility built."
Don't never let these folks put that welfare nothing on. This government, this country don't let us get the most of nothing. The only thing they let us get the most of charges. They let us get the most fines. Anything negative, that's what they give us the most of. They're not gonna give us anything that's gonna help us.
For V-Ball. But you're the governor and on our side, and that's a good thing. Actually, a great thing. Bryant responds, "We can do that. Just get me some numbers and I'll find a way." The former governor has not been charged. He denies any involvement in directing welfare funds to Favre's project. This is
They got the text messages.
all part of a civil suit filed in July that alleges Bryant and others misused $5 million intended to help the state's neediest residents and diverted it.
Y'all see how they said that misuse? They stole. They stole. See, y'all got to start catching how these news agencies start twisting and forming and shaping a narrative. They didn't misuse nothing. They stole. Let that be a black man. He stole. Y'all got to start listening to every word, every syllable these fork-tongued devils say. You got to start analyzing and scrutinizing. That way we can start penalizing and traumatizing these devils.
$1 million intended to help the state's neediest residents and diverted it toward this volleyball facility at the university.
Y'all saw that? It's a bunch of poor places in Mississippi. Hey, we out here. None of that money go for them. And then they want to blame black folks as if we own these buildings. Why our neighborhood look like that? You can file that with why is everything about race, says the people that maintain race, created a system of race, and will not destroy it. You can file that with that. Why y'all neighborhood look like that?
Neediest residents and diverted it toward this volleyball facility at the University of Southern Mississippi, where Favre's daughter was attending school. The filing goes on to claim that in more texts from 2019, Favre asked Bryant for assistance to secure more funding, texting, "We obviously need your help big time, and time is working against us." Bryant responds, "We are going to get there. This was a great meeting, but we have to follow the law. I am too old for federal prison." These new court documents filed by Bryant's attorneys.
That right there tells you he knew he was breaking the law. He didn't rebuke Brett for trying to get him to steal. He knew. The government can use him as a witness against Brett. That's why I tell y'all that's why the Most High is going to destroy this whole thing. Everything got to be destroyed. It's infested. These people are more infested than roaches with wickedness.
For federal prison. These new court documents filed by Bryant's attorneys allege Favre and former nonprofit director Nancy New, who has already pleaded guilty to fraud in the $77 million scheme, were requesting funds from the Mississippi Department of Human Services to build the facility. In a different text exchange, Favre asking New, "If you were to pay me, is there any way the media can find out where it came from and how much?" Favre.
That right there proves he knew he was stealing. Pay him. Where the money gonna come from? That right there. See, they know this man is guilty. They're not gonna do nothing. See, don't get it twisted. And I believe Sleeping Joe Biden was in that. It was president then. They could have arrested Brett. I choose now one of them, the Democrats nor the Republicans. I choose neither. Name a period in time where the police hadn't been genociding us. Both of them been in office. Most of the police shootings in Democrat cities. Most of them.
If you were to pay me, is there any way the media can find out where it came from?
Well, I'm going to say a lot of them. I'm not going to say most, but quite a few shootings is going on in these Democrat-ran cities.
And how much? Favre has not been charged. His attorney says the former QB never knew the origin of the money, saying he only has good intentions with every charitable endeavor he has organized.
All right, that's enough.
The DOJ
That's
is
enough. Let's see let me see if he gonna tap dance. I'm gonna see if he smells some biscuits.
definitely closing in on others involved in this misappropriation scheme. They're going to determine who was connected to this scheme based on communications of people who are already indicted.
New is cooperating with authority.
And that's another thing. The perpetrators of the crime get to investigate themselves and find themselves not guilty. Ain't that something? Then you got white nationalist preachers preaching this mess from the pulpit. So, yeah, I'm just close. I'm bringing it to a close, y'all. Okay, I'm just bringing it to a close, consolidating, and I'm going slow. That's how I missed some of this stuff last week. Oh yeah. Okay. Now, the white residents, Jackson, Mississippi, full of black folk. And last I heard, they had a black mayor. They want to get their own police. See, they want their own police. We want our own police too. We don't want y'all's police. I don't care if they black. We want our own police too, just like y'all want y'all police for your white folk. We want ours too. Why is everything about race? They don't want the black city ran full of black folks. They don't want them police. Because see, them police probably, I don't know, I don't live in Jackson. Them police, if they live in Jackson, they got to go home running them same people. See, it's full of black folk. You got to be careful who you roughing up when the city you live in full of black folk. Yeah, you go over here and rough up Pookie. Pookie probably got a clan full of kinfolk. But anyway, but yeah, the white people, the white residents and official, look, white residents and the official, that means the capital, the state capital of Mississippi, the Senate, the House, whatever, in Mississippi have actively sought, in some cases, secured separate state-controlled police forces in majority black areas. Do y'all see the problem with this here? Now, when you started getting separate police taking the power from the black people, this opens the door to mass incarceration, over policing, police shootings. See, you might not pick up on that. You might not think, oh yeah, they getting a separate police. I told y'all, the black officers probably live around a bunch of black folks. They got, they know where the police stay. I used to keep check on where the police stayed. You understand? I used to keep check on where the police stayed. Might still do. Anyway, they want to get a separate police force, pay more money to police black areas. All right. Okay. Let me move on. Why is everything about race? We sit under white police under there all the time, but they can't sit under black ones, huh? Why is everything about race, family? That's messy pissy. All right, now. This woman here, she got elected senator, and she said she would be on the front row to watch a hanging. This was years ago. Let me see here. Looking for the volume button. Okay, it's down here. Did y'all hear? If they invited her to a public hanging, she'd be on the front row.
Current appointed Mississippi Senator and candidate for re-election Cindy Hyde-Smith is defending those comments Sunday night. Mississippi had the highest recorded number of lynchings of African Americans between 1877 and 1950, according to the Equal Justice Initiative.
The state that really had the most lynching in that era was Mississippi. To act like there is no history to this, that there is no context to this, and then to not even have the courage to answer direct questions about what you said.
Y'all can sit back and play dumb if you want to. It might cost you your life. Might cost you your family life. You done seen video where they just bust people sleep? They bust up in the house and shoot the grandkids. While it's playing, I'm gonna see can I find that. This was in Illinois, I believe.
As well as sit here and make the claim that someone is somehow misinterpreting what you say,
right,
and in the process refuse to even apologize, shows me that she is not worthy of the office to which she holds.
Senator, are you familiar with Mississippi's history of lynchings?
I put out a statement yesterday, and that's all I'm going to say about it.
Governor you mentioned that it shouldn't be viewed with a negative connotation. Could you at least explain how it could be positive?
And we stand by the statement, and that's all I'm going to say about it.
This is 2018. We're going here in Mississippi into the third decade of the 21st century, and we just should.
He ain't did nothing. He been in there all these years. This is Mike Espy. He ain't did. He been. I don't trust black folks. Been in office all these years, and ain't nothing changed, and they still lynching. And I don't trust him either. He black looking. Okay, don't trust him. I couldn't find that woman's name, but let's see. Let's watch this.
We turn to the race for Senate in Mississippi. A runoff election set for this Tuesday. Major League Baseball, the latest donor to Republican Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith, asking for their money back after a series of controversial statements she's made and photos showing her with Confederate.
Y'all can't hear that. Y'all couldn't hear that. All right, hold on. Shalom, Yisrael. Or is that Yasharala? I'm sorry. Look, I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name, okay? Tell Eliyahu I mean no harm, and I come in peace. Tell Eliyahu I mean no harm and no disrespect, okay?
We turn to the race for Senate in Mississippi. A runoff election set for this Tuesday. Major League Baseball, the latest donor to Republican Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith, asking for their money back after a series of controversial statements she's made and photos showing her with Confederate items. And tonight, a new controversy over where she and her daughter went to school. Here's ABC's David Wright.
Republican Cindy Hyde-Smith, the first woman ever to represent Mississippi in Congress, is once again taking heat for where she appears to stand on the state's racist past. The latest controversy exposed this weekend when the Jackson Free Press reported she went to high school at an all-white segregation academy and published this yearbook photo. Years later, she sent her daughter to a...
Now, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't want my children around them. Hey, y'all do y'all. The problem is you got to come over here and genocide us. That's the problem. Okay?
Similar school.
Y'all might ought to be getting the address of everywhere you see these Confederate flags and white supremacist memorabilia, and y'all might ought to be making mental notes of where these folks live at. The way these folks is acting, you might have to do some preemptive striking. The way they acting, because the feds ain't stopping them. It's not illegal for white supremacists to run for government. Remember, Duke, what's his name? Can't think of his name. David Duke was trying to run for president. Used to be in the Klan. Now he's a neo-Nazi. Ask yourself, if the government is not infested with white supremacy, why is it not a crime for a member of a white supremacy group to run for office? What they gonna do? Get in office all of a sudden have a heart for black folk? Huh? They gonna get in. They hate black folks, and that's why they in the white supremacist group. But when they get in office, they gonna become concerned the best needs for black folk. David Duke, that's right. Yeah, y'all need to be asking questions. Then you wondering why they're not doing no investigation on this Nolan Wales. Okay. Why the probable cause they had his phone and keys to get a warrant. They ain't gonna get no warrant because they probably know the judge. The judge probably in a hate group to go search that house. You got photos of Nolan in a pool party, and they say and then people were saying he was beaten at the pool party. I know it's speculation. Probable cause to go out there and search for DNA. Why is it taking them so long to come out? I'm talking Mississippi with this autopsy report by the same woman that always ruled against homicide when it's a black person death. Okay? All right, let me get back over here. I'm about done, y'all.
Hyde-Smith's campaign calls the allegations a new low. This after a separate photo came to light on her own Facebook page. The Republican senator seen here wearing a Confederate Army cap at the home of Jefferson Davis. The caption, Mississippi history at its best. And there's a video of her joking with a supporter. Hyde-Smith later apologized.
There was no ill will, no intent whatsoever.
After the video went viral, several corporations asked her to return their campaign donations.
How embarrassing.
They already know. Don't y'all buy into that. Don't y'all buy into that. These folks already know. They already know. Okay? They already know.
Asked her to return their campaign donations.
How embarrassing is Cindy Hyde-Smith?
Democrat Mike Espy is hoping to become the state's first black senator since Reconstruction. He's walked a fine line, calling Hyde-Smith out while trying not to alienate rural white voters.
I don't know what's in your heart, but we all know what came out of your mouth. It's giving our state another black eye that we don't need.
Republicans normally don't have to worry about Mississippi, but because of the race issues, Espy's voters are motivated. The president's now headed down to Mississippi to make sure his voters turn out too.
All right, let me move on. All right, now, white man run over this boy right here. Didn't go to jail. Wish I could make this bigger. This guy went in the ditch and run over this guy, run over this baby right here, and did not go to jail. Oh, y'all, hold on. He went in the ditch and run over this child right here. And they let him walk. See, like I said, it's time they had some slow singing and flower bringing. Take it how you want to take it. Let me refresh this page. Take it how you want to take it. I'm not telling nobody to do nothing, but it's time. It's time for them to start crying. We start praying and they start crying.
This is Demario Davis. As a Brandon, Mississippi native, I've seen the positive effects Mercy.
Hold on. I'm getting these pop-ups. Hold on.
House Adult and Teen Challenge has across the state. Help us restore broken families and fight against addiction by donating an unneeded vehicle.
Tonight, a family from Emmett County is speaking out after a verdict was reached in a hit-and-run accident that happened last April. 3 on your sides. Teddy Reedy has their reaction and joins us from the steps of the Emmett County Courthouse.
Just behind these doors here at the Emmett County Courthouse, a jury found Cody Rollinson not guilty earlier this week. Rollinson was accused.
They found him not guilty of killing a black child. Now, listen at this black woman right here. I don't know if she's the mother or what. That's why I had that video stop right there. When I saw that, that's why the video stopped. I said, I heard enough. This is a problem.
And causing the ATV accident that killed Jordan Hill earlier this spring. Hill's family left reeling.
Shocked. I was shocked because you have all this evidence.
Okay, that's his mother.
It's facts. And he still was found not guilty.
April 6, 2025 will always be a day the Hill family remembers forever. It's been 9 months since 10-year-old Jordan Hill was involved in a deadly crash that shook the small town of Gloucester.
Now, how was he involved in a deadly crash? See, the man went in the ditch and run him over and then fled the scene of the crime, then come back and got his mirror from the scene of the crime because he had left evidence. But he was involved in a crash like he was driving. The man run over him. Boy, I tell you.
Gloucester. Shortly after the crash, Rollinson was slapped with 2 charges, the first being aggravated DUI and the second felony leaving the scene of an.
Okay, aggravated DUI and felony leaving the scene. What about manslaughter? Huh? What about manslaughter? What about murder? It's what you don't hear is what's speaking the loudest. See, I know what they charge black folk with. That's why that's why. See. Anyway, let's go ahead on.
An accident. Rollinson was found not guilty of both charges Wednesday. After the verdict was announced, Hill's family was left stunned.
Right now, I'm still crushed, but somehow I still have faith in the justice system.
Put your faith in the Most High. She got and listen. I'm not beating up on the woman. That's the problem. They can read you and see you ain't gonna do too much. You still trusted the system that's killing you. You still trusting the system that done killed your baby. They reading you. Oh, she ain't gonna do too much. Let them walk. She still got faith in the system.
I just felt that this justice system here just failed us because they had all the evidence. It was all presented in front of them. They had it. I don't understand why and how this could even happen.
Wanda Brown, Hill's mother, says her and her family are still very much grieving the loss of Jordan.
It's been hard. First Christmas, first Thanksgiving, everything is just, it still seems like a dream.
Stop giving them money for Christmas and Thanksgiving. We ain't supposed to be celebrating that, but I know everybody don't know. Santa had slaves. St. Nick was Pope Nicholas V that put slavery in motion, and we right back around to race. But anyway, I know everybody don't know. But let me move on. I ain't gonna, but yeah, I think I showed you that. Yeah, I did. Okay, now 215 people buried behind Mississippi jail since 2016. Hundreds of people are buried in numbered graves. Not a name. People, a lot of times the people didn't even know what had happened to their loved ones. And I'm wondering, is the organs missing? Near the Hinds County Detention, this is Jackson, Hinds County Detention Center in Hinds County Penal Farm. Families say their loved ones were buried without notice. So how is it y'all don't? So they don't notify next of kin? Why not? Why not? What's going on? Are you stealing organs? Did you kill them on purpose and then just bury them to hide the evidence? The families of people who were buried in a pauper grave, let me see, are calling for a federal investigation into the burials, which took place without families being notified, with their attorney now saying the field hold hundreds of more graves. The family want a full accounting of the bodies buried there. I bet most of them are black. The issue became national news last fall when several families say they had waited months to hear about a missing loved one, only to learn their relative had died months earlier and were buried in a grassy field near graves marked on by a metal tag and a burying number. Their attorney, the attorney civil rights lawyer Ben Crump, said he believed many more people were buried under similar circumstances. We know based on the records from the coroner office that since 2016, at least in the last 8 years, we can identify 215 individuals that were buried behind that jail and their families have not been notified. I bet you these are some murders mixed in. I bet you if they did some autopsies, some real autopsies away from them, you're going to find some murders. All right, let me let this go. Let me finish this. Let me see. I think that's it. All right, family. Y'all keep your eyes on these folks. Tell your children and grandchildren, don't trust none of them. None of them, family. Do like Muhammad Ali said, if it was 10,000 snakes coming down the aisle and I had a door I could shut, out of that 10,000, 1,000 rattlesnakes didn't want to harm me. Should I trust the 1,000 white folks to form a shield to protect me? Or should I just slam the door and be safe? Don't trust none of these folks. All right, family. Shalom. We in the truth.
We back in the trenches. Food up. Put the armor on. Let's work. What? Down in the trenches, we put in the work. Enemy lurking, but we never hurt. Sword in the hand, got the truth on the belt. Bringing the heat that the devil gon' melt. Yeah, we holding the line. I wake up every morning, gotta put the heavy armor on. Fighting against the darkness from the midnight to the early dawn. They throwing the dark, but they hitting the shield. I'm standing my ground, I refuse to yield. Got the boots lace tight, we stepping precise. We already pay, yeah, he covered the price. Listen to the horns going off like a siren. We walking through the fire, and we coming out iron. Hold up. Check the perimeter. Keep your eyes open, the battle is physical, battle is spiritual. Breathe, now attack! Down in the trenches, we put in the work. Enemy lurking, but we never hurt. Sword in the hand, got the truth on the belt. Bringing the heat that the devil gon' melt. What? Yeah, we holding the line. Look. Yeah, we holding the line. Look, I don't play no game. I speak the truth, I drop the name. I'm moving, I'm grooving, I'm proving the power is active and never retreat. The enemy thought he was winning, but look at the scoreboard, he taking the beating. Yeah, that's how we do it on the front line. Push back, push back. We taking the territory, taking it back. No compromise, we stay on the track. Work. Every single day.